Hello everyone and welcome all of you to our channel Amar Concept House. This is the lecture 1 and today I am going to discuss with you about the basic concept or introduction to thermodynamics. शायद मेरे ख्याल से फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री में one of the most complex topic and most conceptual topic is thermodynamics and a lot of questions come from this topic in every competitive examinations. Now, first of all, we need to know what is thermodynamics. We know well from the definition that the thermodynamics is the branch of the physics which deals with the energy interaction. Thermodynamics is the branch of the physics which deals with the energy interaction. Thermodynamics is the branch of the physics which deals with the energy interaction. Now, what do you mean by energy interaction? Energy interaction क्या होता है? Energy interaction means simple the heat energy converted to the work energy. Okay, let us see first this term thermodynamics. This term thermodynamics comprises of two Greek words as you see. One is thermo and another one is dynamics. One is thermo and another one is dynamics. So thermo means heat and dynamics means motion. Okay, so thermodynamics means it is the relationship between the heat energy and the motion. The relationship between the heat energy and the motion. For example, when you eat something, it's converted into the heat energy in our body. Okay, and we have energy to move. So our body also works as on the principles of thermodynamics. Also our earth, our universe, all these are working on the principles of thermodynamics. First of all, we discuss about the system and surroundings. It is very important in thermodynamics. So please concentrate on it what I am saying. What is system and what is surrounding. So क्या होता है सिस्टम और क्या होता है सराउंडिंग. तो स्टूडेंट सिस्टम और सराउंडिंग वो है जो मिलके पूरा यूनिवर्स बनाते हैं. दैट मीन सिस्टम प्लस सराउंडिंग इज इक्वल्स टू द यूनिवर्स. नाउ कमिंग टू द सिस्टम. तो स्टूडेंट सिस्टम क्या है? व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय सिस्टम? द सिस्टम मीन्स एनीथिंग व्हिच इज रियल इन यूनिवर्स और इट इज ए पार्ट व्हिच अंडर इन्वेस्टिगेशन इज कॉल्ड सिस्टम. So system means anything which is real in universe or it is a part which under investigation is called system. And I have already told you that system और surrounding वो है जो मिलके पूरा universe बनाते हैं. That means system और surround plus surrounding is equals to the universe. तो इस डेफिनेशन का मीनिंग क्या है? एंड अनदर थिंग इज सिस्टम कैन बी रियल एंड कैन बी इमेजिनरी ऑल्सो. सिस्टम रियल हो सकता है और इमेजिनरी भी हो सकता है. ओके, आई विल टेल यू लेटर हाउ द सिस्टम कैन बी इमेजिनरी ऑल्सो. नाउ द पार्ट विच इज अंडर इन्वेस्टिगेशन, उसका मीनिंग क्या है? द पार्ट विच इज अंडर इन्वेस्टिगेशन, उसका मीनिंग क्या है? सपोज यू आर स्टडिंग अबाउट दिस वाटर बॉटल and I will say to you that find out the temperature and viscosity of water which is present inside this bottle. तो आपका फोकस एंड कंसंट्रेशन कहाँ पर होगा? ऑब्वियसली वाटर पर. सो हियर द सिस्टम इज नॉट द होल वाटर बॉटल. द सिस्टम इज ओनली द वाटर विच इज प्रेजेंट इन साइड दिस बॉटल और विच वी आर ट्राइंग टू फोकस. अंडरस्टूड और नॉट? आई विल गिव अनदर एग्जाम्पल. इफ आर स्टडिंग अबाउट द गैस प्रेजेंट इन साइड दिस रूम. ओके, दिस इज द रूम. This is the room and gas present inside this room. Okay, then the gas is our system, okay, about which you are going to study. So the one which is under observation, that we call it as a system. Is it clear, students? Now here the gas is our system. Okay, now coming to the surrounding. What do you mean by surrounding? Everything excluded system which are present inside the universe is known as surrounding. Okay, so what do you mean by surrounding? Everything excluded of system in universe can be considered as surroundings. Is it clear? सो डेफिनेशन क्या है? एवरीथिंग एक्सक्लूडेड ऑफ सिस्टम इन यूनिवर्स कैन बी कंसिडर्ड एज सराउंडिंग्स, which means that suppose this is our system, means gas present inside this room is considered as system. Okay, this is a room and the gas which is present inside this room is considered as our system. Then remaining everything which is there in the universe we call it as surrounding. And remember one thing, without surrounding we cannot define system. Surrounding के बिना system defined नहीं है. Is it clear? So there is a boundary between the system and the surrounding. Always there is a boundary between the system and the surrounding. So this is our surrounding. अब बाउंड्री क्या होता है? वो चीज़ जो सिस्टम और सराउंडिंग को सेपरेट करे उसको हम बाउंड्री बोलते हैं. ओके, जस्ट लाइक एट दिस टाइम यू आर सिटिंग इन ए चेयर, इफ यू डोंट गो नेक्स्ट टू द चेयर देन द कॉर्नर ऑफ द चेयर इज द बाउंड्री. सो सिंपली बाउंड्री इज ए सेपरेशन बिटवीन द सिस्टम एंड द सराउंडिंग. Now boundary can be real, can be imaginary also. Boundary can be fixed, can be movable also. And boundary can be diathermic and boundary can be adiabatic also. So boundary can be divided. It can be real, it can be imaginary, and it can be fixed, and it can be movable also. And it can be diathermic and adiabatic also. Now coming to the fixed boundary. What is fixed boundary? A fixed boundary. Suppose taken a half bucket of water. Okay. This is a bucket and it contains water. So now water is our system and it is the surrounding. Here the quantity of water is fixed. When the quantity of water is fixed, the boundary is fixed. Here the quantity of water is fixed. So the boundary also fixed. So this boundary is known as fixed boundary. So it is a fixed boundary. So another one is movable boundary. So what do you mean by movable boundary? Take the same bucket of water and keep it under tap. Take the same bucket of water and keep it under the tap. What happens? Water falls continuously, so that the level of water changes continuously. Whenever the level of water changes, then the boundary changes. Okay, from here to here. Then the boundary changes. This boundary we call it as a movable boundary. Clear, all of you? Of boundary can be diathermic and boundary can be adiabatic also. Diathermic and adiabatic boundary. अब diathermic क्या होता है? What do you mean by diathermic? So diathermic is the boundary across which heat change is possible easily. तो जैसे मान लो किसी सिस्टम का टेम्परेचर बहुत हाई है और अगल बगल सराउंडिंग का टेम्परेचर बहुत लो है एंड मान लो एक डायथर्मिक बाउंड्री है. डायथर्मिक मीन्स सिंपली कंडक्टिंग. अब सिस्टम का टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा है और अगल बगल सराउंडिंग का टेम्परेचर कम है एंड कंडक्टिंग बाउंड्री है, तो हीट फ्लो कर जाएगी हायर टेम्परेचर से लो टेम्परेचर एंड इट फ्लोज वेरी फास्ट ऑल्सो बिकॉज हीट फ्लो इज वेरी इजीली पॉसिबल थ्रू द कंडक्टिंग बाउंड्री. और बहुत जल्द दोनों तरफ का टेम्परेचर सेम हो जाएगा. अंडरस्टूड नॉट? तो अगर जो बाउंड्री है वो डायथर्मिक है तो हीट बहुत आसानी से फ्लो करेगी और तब तक फ्लो करेगी जब तक टेम्परेचर सेम ना हो. नाउ कमिंग टू द एडियाबैटिक बाउंड्री. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय एडियाबैटिक? एडियाबैटिक इज द बाउंड्री across which heat cannot flow. Across which heat cannot flow. That means adiabatic also called as insulating. Insulating material cannot allow flow heat. So heat cannot flow through any non-conducting material. Okay, that means del Q is equals to 0. So del means change. So here the change in heat will be 0. Now coming to the types of the system. Generally there are 3 types of system in thermodynamics. One is open system, closed system and isolated system. The first one is open system. What is open system? Open system is the system in which both the mass and energy transfer possible. For example, suppose you take some water in a container. Okay, it is a container and keep some water inside it. Okay, and just heat it continuously. Then what happens? After some times we observe that the level of water comes down. Okay, we give some water continuously. Then after some times we observe that from here to here the level of water comes down. It means that the water is converting into the water vapor and it goes out. That means the mass is exchanging between the system and the surrounding. Also the heat or energy also exchanges. So the system in which both the mass and energy exchanges is possible, we call it as a open system. Is it clear, students? So this is a system where mass as well as an energy exchanges between the system and the surrounding. Mass and energy exchange is possible. Okay, so it may come inside or it go outside. There is an exchange between the system and the surrounding. Now come to the closed system. So what do we mean by closed system? So closed system is the system in which only energy transfer is possible. There is no mass transfer. Okay, take the same example. And that means take a pot of water and keep a lift over it. Okay, I will show you it separately. Take a pot of water and keep a lift over it, and in the same way heat it continuously. Then what we observe? The water cannot evaporate to the surrounding. But after some times when we stop giving the heat, then it becomes cool. It means that here the energy is exchanged between the system as well as the surroundings. Here the water molecules cannot evaporate out. So here there is no mass transfer. Only energy transfer is possible. That means the system in which only energy get transferred and there is no transfer of mass, then we call it as a closed system. There is no mass transfer, only heat transfer or energy transfer is possible. Now come to the isolated system. What do you mean by isolated system? Isolated system means there is neither mass transfer nor energy transfer possible. Then we call it as a isolated system. So the definition of isolated system is isolated system means there is neither mass transfer nor energy transfer possible. Then we call it as a isolated system. Actually there is no perfect isolated system exists. Okay. Now example of isolated system is it's a thermoflask. If you keep some tea or any hot water in it, then only up to certain extent it will be hot. After some time it becomes cool, right or not? So it means that it depends upon the insulation provided. That means if you give more insulation, the hotness stays for longer period, but you cannot say that it stays for longer time. Clear? So it completely depends on the insulation. So we can say there is no perfect isolated system. But in this case, whatever the time period it stays, then there will be no exchange of heat. So it is a system, there is no mass transfer possible, and also there is no heat transfer possible. Is it clear, students?